Welcome back to Numistrade today. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in modern American pocket change history, the 1972 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar. At first glance, it looks ordinary. It features the familiar portrait most Americans have seen thousands of times. But hidden within certain examples of this coin are rare qualities, minting secrets, and collector demand that can transform a common coin into a remarkable treasure. In this video, we're going to explore the history behind the Washington Quarter, the significance of the Denver Mint mark, the design details that make the 1972 D Quarter special, the types of errors and high-grade conditions that increase its value, and why collectors are still searching for exceptional examples today. History of the Washington QUARTR. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of America's first president, George Washington. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, whose portrait of Washington would become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. By 1972, the Washington Quarter had already been in circulation for 4 decades. But the coin was different from its earliest versions. Originally struck in 90% silver, quarters minted after 1964 were made from a copper-nickel clad composition. That means your 1972 D Quarter contains layers of metal, a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel. This change makes the 1972 D Quarter more common in metal value, but not necessarily in collector value. The Denver Mint and the D Mint mark. The D Mint mark on the 1972 quarter tells us it was struck at the Denver Mint. Located in Colorado, the Denver Mint has produced billions of coins for circulation. In 1972, the Denver Mint struck hundreds of millions of Washington quarters. Because of this high production number, most 1972 D quarters are worth face value in circulated condition. You can find them in change jars, coin rolls, and old collections across the United States. However, mintage numbers alone do not determine value. Condition is everything. Design details of the 1972 D Quarter. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the obverse, or front, you'll see the left-facing profile of George Washington. The word Liberty arches above his head. The motto "In God We Trust" appears to the left, and the date 1972 is struck at the bottom. Just to the right of the date is the small but important D Mint mark. On the reverse, you'll find a powerful American symbol, a bald eagle with wings spread wide. The eagle clutches arrows in its talons, representing strength and readiness, while olive branches symbolize peace. Above the eagle is United States of America, and below is the denomination quarter dollar. Though common in appearance, sharp strikes and pristine surfaces can dramatically separate ordinary coins from extraordinary ones. Why condition matters so much? Most 1972 D quarters entered circulation immediately after being minted. They were used in vending machines, cash registers, parking meters, and everyday transactions. Over time, they developed scratches, contact marks, dull luster, and worn details. Collectors grade coins on a scale from poor to mint state. The highest grades, often referred to as MS65, MS66, MS67, and beyond, represent coins that show little to no wear, strong luster, and minimal imperfections. A 1972 D Quarter in heavily circulated condition might only be worth 25 cents. But a high-grade uncirculated example, especially one with blazing mint luster and sharp strike detail, can command impressive premiums in the collector market. High-grade rarity. Here's where things become interesting. Although millions were minted, finding a 1972 D Quarter in superb gem condition is not easy. Many coins were not preserved carefully. Bags of coins were stored, transported, and handled in ways that caused small marks and abrasions. When a coin survives decades without significant contact marks, with full detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, collectors take notice. Top-tier certified examples graded at the highest mint state levels have sold for astonishing amounts at auction. And when demand meets scarcity in top condition, prices can rise dramatically. Error coins in VRATIS. Another reason collectors hunt for 1972 D quarters is the possibility of mint errors. Mint errors occur during the striking process. These can include off-center strikes, doubled dies, clipped planchets, or wrong planchet errors. While most 1972 D quarters are normal strikes, rare error examples can bring significant attention and strong collector demand. Doubled die varieties, where design elements appear doubled due to misalignment during die creation, are especially desirable. collectors carefully inspect lettering, numbers, and design features under magnification, hoping to discover subtle doubling. Even small variations can create excitement within the coin community. The role of professional grading. Today, serious collectors often rely on professional grading services to authenticate and grade coins. These services examine a coin's condition, surface preservation, strike quality, and luster. Once graded, the coin is sealed in a protective holder with its grade clearly labeled. For a 1972 D quarter, a certified high-grade example can attract competitive bidding in auctions, especially if population reports show very few coins surviving at that grade level. Scarcity in top condition is what separates an everyday coin from a headline-making collectible. Market demand in collector interest. The Washington Quarter Series remains one of the most widely collected coin series in the United States. From early silver issues to modern clad pieces, collectors attempt to build complete date and mint mark sets. Because the 1972 D quarter is part of this long-running series, demand is built into the market. Collectors upgrading their sets seek the finest examples available. Registry set competitors aim for the highest certified grades possible. This ongoing demand ensures that superb examples continue to command strong prices when they appear at major auctions. How to check your 1972 D QURTR. If you have a 1972 D quarter, here's what to examine at first. Check the mint mark. Make sure the D appears clearly to the right of the date. Second, inspect the overall condition. Are Washington's hair details sharp? Are the eagle's feathers well defined? Does the coin still shine with original mint luster? Third, look for unusual features. Any doubling in the lettering? Off-center strike? Clipped edge? These could indicate a collectible error. Finally, consider professional evaluation if your coin appears to be in exceptional condition. What looks ordinary at first glance could turn out to be something remarkable. The thrill of the HUNT coin collecting is more than just examining metal discs. It's about history, discovery, patience, and sometimes a bit of luck. The idea that a coin minted over 50 years ago could still be hiding in circulation keeps collectors searching through rolls of quarters every day. The 1972 D Washington Quarter reminds us that even common coins can hold uncommon potential. It all depends on condition, preservation, rarity at high grades, and collector demand. A story of value. While most 1972 D quarters are worth only face value, extraordinary high-grade examples have reached impressive auction results. One exceptional specimen stunned collectors when it achieved a sale price of $50,252. That incredible result demonstrates the power of condition, rarity, and competitive bidding. It shows how modern coins, often overlooked, can become major highlights when preserved in near-perfect state. CONCLUSIO in the 1972 D mint Mark Washington quarter dollar may seem ordinary at first glance. It represents everyday American commerce, pocket change, and decades of circulation. But beneath that familiar design lies a world of grading standards, minting history, collector passion, and hidden potential. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1995 D mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, a coin that many people overlook, yet collectors carefully examine under bright lights and magnifying lenses. Stay with me, because this quarter is more interesting than you might think. A snapshot of American history. The Washington quarter is one of the most recognizable coins ever produced by the United States Mint. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's first president, the coin quickly became a staple of everyday commerce. The obverse of the coin features the powerful profile of George Washington, based on a design by sculptor John Flanagan. His image represents leadership, resilience, and the birth of a young nation that would grow into a global power. The reverse, used from 1932 until 1998, displays a proud American eagle with outstretched wings, a symbol of strength and freedom. By 1995, this design had already been in circulation for more than 6 decades. Yet even in a long-running series, certain years and mint marks can surprise collectors with unexpected value. The meaning of the D mint mark. The small D mint mark on the 1995 quarter tells an important story. That single letter represents the Denver Mint, located in Denver, Colorado. The Denver Mint has been producing coins since 1906 and is known for striking billions of coins each year. In 1995, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters. At first glance, that large mintage might suggest the coin is common and ordinary. And for the most part, circulated examples are indeed worth only face value. But here's where things become interesting. Condition is everything in coin collecting. Condition is king. 2 coins from the same year and mint can have dramatically different values depending on their preservation. Coins that entered circulation typically show were scratches, dullness, flattened details, and contact marks. However, coins that were carefully stored, never spent, and preserved in pristine condition are known as mint state coins. These coins retain their original luster, that bright, almost glowing shine created during the striking process. The grading scale used by collectors ranges from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS60 is uncirculated but may have noticeable marks. A coin graded MS65 is considered gem quality, with strong eye appeal. At the very top, MS67 and above represent coins that are exceptionally well preserved. For the 1995 D Washington quarter, high-grade examples are where the real value potential begins. Why some 1995 D quarters stand out even though millions were minted. Not all 1995 D quarters were struck equally. Some were produced with sharper details, better strikes, and fewer imperfections. Occasionally, a coin survives in nearly flawless condition, something quite rare for circulation strikes from the 1990s. Collectors look closely at the sharpness of Washington's hair details, the clarity of the lettering and date, the strength of the eagle's feathers on the reverse, the presence of original mint luster, the absence of distracting marks. A quarter that excels in all these areas can command serious attention at auctions. The role of professional grading. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC authenticate and assign official grades to coins. When a 1995 D quarter receives a very high grade from one of these services, its desirability increases dramatically. Why? Because population reports show how many coins exist at each grade level. If only a small number of coins have been graded at the highest levels, collectors compete fiercely to own one. This competition can drive prices much higher than most people expect for a modern quarter. Errors and varieties. While the standard 1995 D quarter is common in circulated grades, collectors also search for mint errors and unusual varieties. These can include off-center strikes, double strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets. Unusual toning patterns. Error coins are created during the minting process and can be unique or extremely limited. Even a small mistake at the mint can transform a regular quarter into a collector's treasure. However, the most dramatic value increases usually come from coins in extraordinary condition rather than minor errors. Preservation and storage. If you believe you have a high-grade 1995 D quarter, proper handling is essential. Never clean a coin. Cleaning can permanently damage the surface and significantly reduce its value. Instead, hold coins by the edges, store them in protective holders, keep them in a cool, dry environment, avoid touching the surfaces. Collectors pay premiums for originality. A coin with natural surfaces and untouched luster is always preferred over one that has been polished or altered. The modern coin market. The coin market has grown significantly over the past few decades. Online auctions, grading transparency, and global interest have made it easier than ever for collectors to buy and sell rare coins. Even modern coins from the 1990s are gaining attention, especially in top grades. As time passes, fewer pristine examples remain available, making high-grade survivors more desirable. The 1995 D Washington quarter represents an interesting category, a modern circulation coin with the potential for premium value when preserved at the highest levels. How to check your quarter. If you want to examine your own 1995 D quarter, here's what to do. First, confirm the date reads 1995. Second, check for the small D mint mark on the obverse near Washington's ponytail. Third, inspect the coin under bright light. Look for strong luster and minimal marks. Fourth, compare it with graded examples online to estimate condition. If your coin appears nearly flawless, you may consider submitting it for professional grading. Patience in collecting. Coin collecting rewards patience and attention to detail. Many valuable coins were discovered years after being stored away. Some were found in bankrolls, estate collections, or inherited coin jars. The key lesson is simple. Never underestimate ordinary change. A quarter might buy you very little at a store, but in the right condition, to the right collector, it could be worth far more. The emotional side of coin collecting. Beyond the money, coins connect us to history. The 1995 D quarter circulated during a dynamic period in American history, the mid-1990s, a time of technological growth, cultural shifts, and economic expansion. Each coin may have passed through thousands of hands. It may have been used for a newspaper, a vending machine snack, or a bus fare. Yet one special example might have escaped heavy use and survived in remarkable condition. That contrast between everyday use and hidden potential is what makes coin collecting so exciting. A hidden treasure story. Imagine this scenario. Someone sets aside a roll of fresh 1995 D quarters straight from the bank. Decades pass. The roll remains unopened in a drawer. Years later, a collector opens it and discovers a coin with blazing luster, razor-sharp details, and virtually no imperfections. That coin is submitted for grading. It receives one of the highest possible mint state grades for its type. Suddenly, what was once worth only face value becomes a serious collectible. Moments like this fuel the passion of collectors around the world. Final thoughts: the 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar may seem ordinary at first glance. Millions were made. Millions were spent. Millions still circulate, but condition changes everything. In the world of numismatics, rarity is not just about how many were minted, it's about how many survive in exceptional condition. And when a modern coin reaches the very top of the grading scale, its value can surprise even experienced collectors. So before you dismiss that quarter in your pocket, take a closer look. Examine the details. Notice the shine. Consider its condition.